Hey, everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. It's TLC Tuesday. It's still Tuesday. It's a late episode, but it's still
Yes,
Tuesday. Keisha,
it is. Yeah.
Keisha, listen, you guys. Keisha had travel troubles. I had troubles, and we are here. We are doing it as promised. Here is The Virgins, Season 1, Episode 1, Strike Out. All right, so Keisha, you're in Vegas, my least favorite place on earth.
It is?
You know, I
Or are
hate
you being
Vegas.
sarcastic?
No, I hate Vegas.
Oh, really? Okay.
I know a lot of people love it. It's okay. It's just I don't like it. So, but I think
It's
you're
all
okay.
right.
Are you at the Venetian, the Bellagio?
Bellagio. Yeah. Which
Mm,
coincidentally, two people were fatally shot the day before we got here at the Bellagio.
nice.
It's been a shit show. It has been an absolute shit show since we got to the airport in Houston.
Okay,
And
tell
it
me.
has not stopped.
You haven't told
Okay,
me this, so tell me what happened.
first we get there. My luggage is 7 pounds over what it's supposed to be. So they're like, oh, that's an additional $100. Luckily, this lady's like, God is telling me to help y'all. I'm gonna push your stuff on through. Great.
Nice.
On the plane, I start having a lupus flare up.
Oh no.
That I need that I told James to put in his laptop thing, he put in the regular luggage. So I don't have anything. Okay.
Okay.
So it starts on my back, this starts on my stomach. Needless to say, we were delayed. So he was able to get off the plane to go get me some medicine. I threw up 5 times on the plane.
No. Oh my God.
5 times. 5 times.
Oh,
And
Keisha.
tooted. Like very badly. It just came from out of nowhere. I couldn't control it. So we get to, and Jay's like looked at me like in his head, he's like, did you fart? But he dares not say anything because I'm like, you're lucky I didn't shit on myself. Okay. Look, this is just where we are right now. So I'm having one of the worst flare-ups, like level 25.
Oh
It's
no.
freaking bad. So we get to LA and I'm like, have they said anything about our connecting flight? We missed our flight. The plane left us. So 5-hour layover, which you and I have plans to record based on the time I'm supposed to be in Vegas, which is supposed to be 9 a.m. So I'm like
Right.
calling you and I'm like, I'm stuck in the airport. I don't know what to do. So we finally get here and I manifested like, can we just record on Tuesday? Can we record on Tuesday?
Yeah.
And then you sent me the message saying, we're just going to do it tomorrow. At that point, I wanted to bear all your children. I'm like, Mary Payne, do you want a redheaded baby? Do you want one that's dark skinned with red hair? Do you want the one that looks like you or looks like me? I don't care. I'm about to bear all the children that you want me to right now because I love you so much.
Well, it was like you had just gotten to the airport, and I was like, by the time we record, it's going to be 9 my time,
Yeah.
and I had stuff to do, and Ingrid was like,
Yeah.
and Ingrid's like, I can't stay up till like 11:30. She's like, I could, but I'm trying to, she's trying to like, sleep better. And I go, you know what? I go, I've got so much to do here, and Keisha is not
Yeah.
going to get to the hotel, and then she's going to have to like throw on some mascara. I go, let's
Yeah.
just, you know what? I go, we'll just do it on Tuesday, and people will understand because
Yeah.
99% of 99% of the time I get everything out on time.
Oh, yeah, you
And
do.
I was like, I think people will give me a little grace if we just have this one it's a travel mishap. We couldn't help it. It's not your
It really
fault.
was. It couldn't be, it couldn't be helped. And then today, just wake
So
up
what and
and
then but also do you
this
feel
shit show
better?
continues.
Do you feel better?
After I threw up 5 times, I felt pretty good. Like
Okay.
your body just feels so bad that it just zones out, and I woke up because my head was nodding down.
Yeah.
So this morning I wake up, I text you, I'm like, this is what I woke up to. I sent you a video. It's drilling. So something's being drilled. Okay. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I finally called them. I'm like, what's the schedule? When is it going to stop? They're like, oh, 5 o'clock, but it's not us. It's the casino. So they're like, we're just going to move you to another floor. Mary Payne, I hate packing. So I had to pack my stuff plus James's stuff because he's at work in like record time.
Yes.
It just has been, I called my mom and I told her everything. She goes, I'm worried about you guys getting home safe. I'm like, bitch, I am too. It's crazy.
And 2 people got shot at the Bellagio?
At the fountains.
Why?
So I don't know. And they haven't even caught the man. So James and I are walking because he wants to see the fountains. I'm like, have they cleared the blood out yet? I'm like, this is not I'm like, I should have kept my black ass at home. There's no reason for me to be here. None.
Oh my, it's crazy because I was driving home, and so because of the traffic, when I first got in my car,
Mhm.
it's a 5.5 to 6 hour drive. When I first got in my car, it said 8 hours and 10 minutes. When
Oh,
I put the
wow.
Waze in and I go, "You
Yeah.
said what?" I go, "Okay, somewhere along the way, there's a huge accident." I go, "I don't know." So I sent
Yeah.
David a text. I go, "I don't know why it's saying this. I'm not gonna get home till like 8 o'clock tonight or something crazy."
Oh,
And so
wow.
I go, "But I'm just gonna hope as I go, whatever has happened will clear itself up." And
Clears.
then sure
Yeah.
enough, after like 45 minutes of driving, it did that doodle-doo-doo, and it
Yeah.
says, "This route will save you 127 minutes." And I was like, "Great,
Great.
great." So I got home, but as I was coming
Uh,
home, it sends you, like an earlier exit, and then you just kinda wind through to get home instead of staying
mhm.
on the highway, which was taking longer. And there was, like, a little tiny car accident, which only, like, set me back, like, 5 minutes. I was like, "Oh, that's terrible," and I told everybody at home, I go, "It was like a minivan hit a Maserati SUV, so
Oh,
s
wow.
sucks for that minivan." Um, and Anna goes, "You didn't see about the stabbing?" I go, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, this dude got, like, stabbed to death not very far from where that accident was." And then I got home and I went onto, like, my little Facebook group that tells me everything. It's literally
Right.
about, like, the helicopters and the stabbings and all the murders in the area and stuff. So I went on that Facebook group.
Jeez.
It's it's always far enough away where I'm not worried, but when John and I
Yeah.
were here alone, a couple weeks ago, he was down in the basement. I go, "Did you lock all the doors and stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "'Cause, like, somebody got shot and the person's
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
loose," and he goes,
Yeah.
"Well, that's literally like a 45-minute walk away from here." I go, "Well, somebody's running on foot, evading the police. They could probably get here pretty fast."
Mary Payne,
Um,
I'm the same exact way. And James is like, that was a yesterday problem. What? Murder? Just like,
they're like, "Oh, that
oh
person's
no.
probably in Pennsylvania by now." I'm like, "What? No, they're
Oh,
coming
maybe
right
they're
maybe they're
not.
coming right to my house."
Yeah. I feel the
Um,
same way.
yeah, I would feel safer in a hotel though. So, yeah, so between the 2 of us and then, at the beach house, I told you there was a roach,
No.
and
Did you burn
then
down the house?
there was another one. That makes
No.
2, and so, I almost called 911. I
I
was like,
do. I believe you.
I got out wasp spray,
Hmm.
and just literally was like, no,
She
and
doesn't play about a roach, y'all, which I
no.
I completely understand, but she saw a roach and sent me a picture. It's like there's a roach in the house. What do I do? And you're like Google searching how to get rid of the best spray for like a roach or whatever. I'm like, I get
I
it.
cannot. I can deal with a spider, I could deal with a
Right.
gnat, a fruit fly infestation, I can deal with any kind of bug situation, but a roach is
Yeah.
whew, okay, my stomach's starting to hurt just talking about it. Okay, anyway, I'm back home now, no roaches here to my knowledge.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo,
Whew.
I did forget my computer charger at the beach, so that's not great. So I did
No,
just quickly order one on Amazon. I have it plugged into like a different kind of charger, and I'm like, fingers crossed it makes it through this recording. Um,
please. I don't know what
Lord, that
these two Libras have done, but we're paying for it right now.
I don't know what we've done either, but it's been a
Mm-mm.
rough go. But let me tell you what, we do have a new show. And
Mhm.
initial thoughts on the virgins. Initial thoughts.
I I actually was entertained.
Okay, me
I've
too.
read some other people comment that it wasn't good and they're hoping that the recaps are better, but
Oh
I was
God.
entertained. I just was because it's so unbelievable. Some of the things that we hear, just
Yes.
like, but I've known some older in life virgins before.
Um, the only older in life virgin I know is Heather McDonald, and she talks about it all the time, that she was a
How old
virgin
was
till
she?
she was like in her late, maybe mid-20s. And then
Oh, okay.
she's like, now it's just getting embarrassing. Like I went all the way through college and now it's just, she's like the Catholic guilt
Yeah.
is yeah. That's the only person, that's the only person I know who was ooh, I take that back. One of
Who?
my, very good friends who I will not name. One of my very
Mhm.
not GMA Mary. One of my very good friends from college was a post college virgin as well.
Okay. All right.
Uh-huh. I
I mean,
remember going like, really? Still? Just do it.
yeah. I mean, I haven't been a virgin since I was 18.
Hmm.
Um,
I
and
won't.
by
I
that time,
won't.
I'm like,
I won't speak for my number.
I was like, I just want to get it done. Like everyone else had done it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna have this big Catholic wedding, like in my head,
Yeah.
with the big white dress and all that, and be a virgin on, get deflowered on my wedding night. I'm just like,
Nice.
I'm ready to do
Hmm.
it. I'm ready to just let's do it.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
boyfriend, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So
Ah. And
mhm.
look at you now, just whoring it up in the streets of Houston. No, just kidding. Just
Well,
kidding.
I am looking for a Persian sugar daddy while I'm in Vegas.
Oh, okay, good. I bet that won't be
Yeah.
too hard. Yeah, you're
Every
good.
time I'm here in Vegas, I look for an old Persian sugar daddy. But James is always like 2 steps behind me. But
He's just
like you're messing
really,
things up for me.
really
You're
crushing your
bugging.
vibe. Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get started. So, this episode is called Strikeout, and we're going to start with Alex. So, Alex is from Reading,
Hmm.
Pennsylvania. I sent a picture of him to Amanda and Amy of a
Okay.
Little Miss Recap, who both live in Pennsylvania. And I said,
Hmm.
Reading, Pennsylvania, into house. And Amanda wrote back, he looks very Reading. I don't know what that
Oh.
means, but that's the scoop from the Pennsylvanians. Um,
Okay.
I don't know if they're covering it. So we meet Alex and he
Hmm.
shows us his room. He says, "My family calls it my hole." And I'm just like, "You
Okay.
can't write this." Like, what?
Soon as he showed us the room, I knew exactly why he was still a virgin.
Was it okay? Here's we'll describe it. Okay. So he has a
Okay.
workout section, which is basically
Hmm.
like two hand weights and like a balance ball.
Right.
Um, a guitar that is not tuned.
Hmm.
He's 34 again, his own
Hmm.
high school senior picture with his diploma,
Hmm.
his own
It's in
photo.
his room.
Mhm.
Hmm.
His grooming station with a photo of a lady in a bikini, and he says he tries to look beautiful for this future lady. Um,
Hmm.
his fan that he cools
Hmm.
himself with, his
Which I can
framed
respect that.
well,
I
me
can
too,
respect the fan. Yeah.
me too. His framed photo of his parents that says like "Love you more,"
Mm-mm.
and his bed had a pillow shaped like an Xbox controller, along with another pillow that says "Home."
Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
no blowjobs are happening in that room.
no,
No hitting it from the back.
listen,
Nothing.
no second base is even happening.
It's nothing is going to happen because he has zero swag. And I'm
Mhm.
all for a nerdy kind of guy,
Yeah,
but this is like 12-year-old. I go to band camp every single summer vibes in this room. It just was bad.
we don't ever find out what he does for a job
We don't.
that he
Mhm.
needs to live with his parents.
Yeah.
Um,
He
but
didn't
he
explain that, and we need to know why he still lives with his
yeah,
is there a parent who's sick? He helps out. I mean, there's lots of things, but I'm thinking he doesn't make that much money.
right. So he takes
Uh-huh.
his shirt off to change for some reason,
Mhm.
and that's
Mhm.
a lot of back hair. It's wraps around
Mhm.
front to back. It goes in
Mhm.
all the way around.
It does.
So
Mhm.
that's problem number 1. I suggest investing in some Nair. And, he says, "If I met a girl at a bar, I could bring her home, but I wouldn't. It's a turnoff for girls to hear you live with your parents, but it's actually great. I come home to a home cooked meal, which is good. No, I don't talk to my parents at all about my issues with women, but I do talk to my 2 older sisters." And we see him like go out the front door, like you said, like a 13-year-old boy that's like
Yeah.
going off on his skateboard. He's like, "Bye, mom." She's like, "Bye, have fun."
Yeah,
And
you can live with your parents and still get laid if you're like 19. Not when you're 34. Then
because
there's
people
something a little bit just
well, they're gonna
why
be
are
like
you
us.
here?
Why? Why?
Why are you here? What is your mom gonna hear us doing it? Is your dad
Right.
like, I mean, it looks like he's in the attic. Like, are we
Yeah.
gonna break the floor? Like that you're just not gonna get horny in this house. You're just not. The whole
It's like
situation is a cop block.
yeah, it's gonna be like, "Okay, it's 11 o'clock. My mom usually goes to bed, so
Yep.
we can sneak up to my room." So
Mm-hmm.
we meet his two older sisters, Samantha and Courtney. They are heroes. We love them.
Yes.
He goes, "Ah, my sisters give me a lot of crap, but it's in loving support." And so they get in the car with him. They're going to go play basketball. And they're like, "Dude, when are you getting a haircut? Like, it's awful. And you've got to cut that beard down. It's horrible. Have you used that back shaver that mom got you?" And he's like, "No." And they go, "You need to listen to us, take our advice." So I think, and especially you saw his senior picture,
Mm-hmm.
he is cute, but he has not, his hair and
Yeah.
all of this looks like Amish country. It does not, because you can
Yeah.
have a beard and have it look decent,
Oh
but
yeah. I love a beard.
it's
I so
it's
people,
the hair and the
his
beard, and
hair wasn't combed. He it wasn't cut. But then you skipped a very important part. He
wait,
drives a minivan.
yes, I'm sure that's because his mom was like, "Okay, this is a car we don't want anymore. You can have it." Yeah, he drives a minivan. I forgot about that.
I don't care if I have 12 kids. I'm not driving a minivan.
Well,
Like,
I never had one. Never had one.
I did it. That's a preference for me. That's not a knock to anyone who does. But I'm like, if I have 12 kids and if 5 of y'all just gotta stay home because I'm not getting a minivan. We can't all make the same trip. Okay. So you see a guy, you meet a guy in the bar and you guys walk out and he gets into not even a new minivan.
Mm-mm.
He
Unless he's
literally that minivan is the same van that they drive in Thousand Pound Sisters because Tammy was always too fat to fit into it like a regular one.
oh my god.
So they have a family burgundy color, just like this one, minivan that they use to travel. So because they're big people
Yeah.
collectively.
Yeah.
But Tammy, they had to like take out the back so she could. It is the same van, same
Oh
van.
my gosh. Well, I was like, well, maybe he drives for Uber and he can get better fares if he has a minivan. It's gonna have to be explained next episode. I hate that they didn't tell us.
Please,
I
yes.
hate. So in the talking head, he says, I think I'm a virgin because number one, I live with my parents. And number
Okay.
two, lack of self-confidence. I overthink everything a lot and it makes me seem weird. And then things go
Mm-hmm.
downhill.
Okay.
And they ask him about his experience with women. And he says, "Well, I've been to second base." And then he goes, "Is that touching boobs? I've been to second base, touching boobs."
Okay.
And he
That
says,
doesn't help that you are 34 and still talking about bases.
"And touching boobs." And
Yeah.
he says, "If you touch a vagina on the outside of the pants for like 2 seconds, like, does that count?"
Well, it doesn't count because if you touch it for 2 seconds, that means the girl probably slapped your hand away. That's why it was only 2 seconds.
That is hilarious. You're right. You're
That's
right. You're so
bad.
right. And then he does tell a very sad story that
Mhm.
it's always just like anything with bullying in middle school and high school is just. And
Yeah.
so he says in high school, he was not treated well by his peers, but every picture and everything they show of him in high school and college, he's
He looks
cute.
good. Yeah. I'm like, like, he's not a bad looking guy.
And he
He
seems to have
just
like
needs
cute
someone.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his height, I'm like, okay, he's cute. I think he's cute. I like a burly looking guy,
Yeah.
clearly. He just needs a haircut and not drive that minivan and maybe like step up his clothing game. I
Yeah.
mean,
And don't live
but
with your
it's the lack
mom.
of self-confidence. Oh, no, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if you have all the other things, there is someone out there who will overlook the fact that you live with your parents, but you got to have all the other things like down pat.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And so he just tells the sad story about a girl like pretending to like him and saying, "Meet me at a certain time." And when he got there, everybody laughed at him because they had set
Oh,
it up.
wow.
And he says,
Yeah.
and then college started and I didn't have the experience with girls. So that made it even harder. And he goes, "I've been rejected a lot of times, and that puts a
Mhm.
damper on my trust for women. And it makes it hard for me to approach them. I don't want to be a 34-year-old version." Like he's like, "I want
Yeah.
intimacy in my life and I'm ready for it." But I think he's
Right.
got to do all the things Keisha just said to,
Just
to,
need a little
to,
help.
to boost his self confidence. To feel like he looks
Mhm.
better. So I'm hoping we do see in the previews that he gets like a back waxing. And I'm hoping that means that somebody's, because by the way, each of these people separately say they need help. So I think some sort
Yeah.
of guru is going to come in to help
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Why can't we get hired to be the gurus on one of these shows?
I mean, you just gave all the advice he needed. It would take a half a day to make that work.
I think between the two of us, we could have our own guru show.
Yeah.
We can help these from the prisoners to the homely. We can help them out.
That's our logo. Are you homely? Are you a prisoner? We can help you. So, and the talking head, the sister goes, no, we cannot believe he's a 34-year-old virgin. You know, he's a great guy. He's very social. And we can't figure out where the disconnect is.
No.
And now he's built it up so much that it's even worse. And he just needs to get laid. Right.
Yeah, he does.
So they're playing basketball and they're being goofy. And they said, when was the last time you had a real date? And he goes, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. And they're like, no,
Holy
but
shit.
He's being funny because he's like dancing around and stuff. I go, he's funny.
There's nothing wrong with, I love a goofy guy. He has a lot of attributes that I actually found attractive in a man, but it's the lack of self-confidence and a horrible wardrobe that is just holding him back.
And the back hair is pretty bad.
You know, I know you don't like body hair.
I don't mind.
I know you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't mind it like if you just have chest hair or something, but I don't like an egregious amount that covers your entire back like a Sasquatch.
So I agree. I could deal with a little bit of hair, but when it gets to the level and the thickness and the length where you can braid that shit, that's a bit too much.
Yeah, you could braid his whole back. You could do French braid on one side, fishtail braid on the other,
box braid in the middle.
Hold still.
I know, right?
All right. So now he goes out for drinks with his sisters, and this did seem like a Pennsylvania mining town bar. It did just seem very sort of everybody's in a plaid shirt, just coming off the coal mining shift or
one
something.
was dressed well. No. Even the girls were pretty
cash.
Again, homely looking. Like kind of were.
Well, okay. So
they were.
DM Keisha, not me. So he goes out for drinks, and the one sister goes, look, this is kind of dead in here, but maybe more people will show up so you can meet somebody. And do you have pickup lines ready? Like, how are you going to talk? He goes, yeah, I've got a pickup line. And then he goes, so if I see a girl that's cute, I'll say, hey, you're cute. Come and sit down with me over here. And if it goes well, I'll buy you a water. Get it? Because they're like, we get it. Water's free. Like, we get it. But no, don't use that. That's terrible. He's like, oh, well, okay. That's the line I use.
See, I would have felt for that.
I would have thought it was funny.
I would have thought it was funny. We're like, oh, okay. You made me laugh.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll talk to you. Because if you can make a girl laugh, you can get on a girl's pants.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a few steps in between, but I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're like, yeah, his game is lacking. He needs guidance on how to start a conversation, how to continue a conversation. And so this is why I think they're going to have somebody come in to work on these people. So 3 girls walk in and he says, 2 of them are attractive and I don't even know how to talk to them. Now, listen, sir, because now these people are going to watch this and be like, well, which was the third one of us that wasn't cute? They were all equally cute.
Exactly. I think they were all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he goes, I just get overwhelmed talking to women. And he goes, I'm going over. So he goes over, his sisters are watching him. And he's like, hey, how are you? Yeah, long day today. Yeah. And they were like, why would they care? They don't know you.
No.
And they chat a little bit. And do you think these girls are, first of all, they had to sign a release before they came into the bar to even be on camera. So they already know that they're filming a show. Right. So do you think they know that this show is about him trying to date, or what do you think they think? Oh, this is like background for a 90 Day Fiance show. I wonder what these girls think. I'm always wondering.
I don't think they know it's a show about virgins.
Definitely not.
Because maybe if they did, they would have felt sorry enough for him. They would have talked to him a little bit more.
I think that probably when they hand you those, okay, you're coming to this bar, we're filming a show. So if you don't want to be featured, sign here or whatever, and they blur you out. But I think they probably said like TLC unnamed project. They do that a lot, unnamed project. So, and these girls are like, now we're on TV about a dude that was a virgin.
Like, damn.
So he meets Haley, Stacy, and Courtney. And he goes, I start to feel weird and then I don't know what to say. I don't know how to continue the conversation. So he just goes, okay, well, so good to talk to you. Next round on me. And they're like, oh, wow, thanks. Okay. And he walks away,
Which was nice
which
that
was
he
nice
did
because
that.
he doesn't have any bills to pay since he lives with his parents.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So he goes, oh, the one girl's cute. I think it's Courtney as they're going to end.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I don't know how to talk to her. I don't know how to just talk to the one girl. And they're like, do it. You can do it. Go
Yeah.
for it. You can do it. Just go and sit down and start a conversation. He goes, okay.
Yes.
It was so funny though, because he goes over and sits next to her. She's on the end. She doesn't notice. And finally she turns around and goes, oh, hey.
I didn't know if that was a real reaction or she did see him and she was trying to ignore him.
Oh, it could have been that too. It could have been
I
both.
didn't know. I was like, will she ignore him on purpose? And then he like,
Yeah.
and then she had to turn around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. So he goes, so what do you like to do for fun? And she goes, oh, I like to travel. And he goes, yeah, okay, that's cool. So what time is it? And she goes, 9:15. He's like, yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'll just So he says, this is where I get stuck.
He could have said, where do you like to travel to?
Where's the latest cool place you went? Where's the latest place you went?
Blew it.
That travel, that's a subject you could just really talk about because you could be like, oh, I've never been there. What's it like?
Exactly.
That sounds cool. Tell me about it.
And he just blew it.
He just blew it. So, and the talking Eddie goes, this is where I get stuck. I overthink and I get stalled out. And I know I should try to get her number, but then I second guess myself. Like, how would I do that? Would she give it to me? And so basically they're leading into, he needs help. How will we help him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because that was bad. I was cringing for him because I felt so bad for him. And I was like yelling at the TV, ask her another question, ask her this, ask her that. He didn't do it. But then again, everyone doesn't have the gift of gab like we do.
No, you and I could talk to a brick wall. We might be mad about it, but we could. So. Yeah. It could be pissed, like, oh my God, I talked to these people at this party. Nobody would talk. And I had to carry everything. And then I felt like I talked too much. And then I was embarrassed.
Yep.
Now we're gonna meet Rhasha. Now,
this was odd.
Rhasha is 42 from Jacksonville, Florida, and she's cute and fun. So she says, I love to sing karaoke. I create videos for my social media. Again, we don't know what her job is, but she does social media content. And we see her going, hey, everybody, let me tell you. Da, da, da. And she tells her social media that her big purr has never seen any action.
What do you think about that name?
Well, she says, I hate the P word. And I was like, Rhasha,
I was like,
I feel you.
Mary.
Well, you know, Amy Archer just says my meow. That's what Amy does. So she would say, my big meow. So she says, I want to lose my virginity. 42. I want to lose my virginity to somebody special. She goes, I've never even done like a tongue down kiss or had a man like touch me down there. And, she says, I'm really confident in myself, even though I'm nervous, but I need help. Okay. So she goes to a sex therapist. And this is surprising. Just even her personality, you're like, what?
Shocked that she's a virgin. Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
So she goes to a sex therapist who takes her through an imagery exercise. This is Dr. Tarinia Cross. And she says, tell me a fantasy. So she goes, okay, so I have a fantasy about being in the bedroom and it's all these white sheets. My hands are tied behind my back and I'm blindfolded and this guy is killing it from the back. Okay, now Keisha, if your hands are tied behind your back, you can't be on all fours because you can't put your hands down.
That means her face is in the bed and he's just breaking her back.
Well, I was like, that's unstable.
You got to turn your head to the side a little bit so you can still breathe.
I was like, don't tie your hands up like that. So, and she goes, and he's going downtown like he's hungry. And the therapist's like, oh yeah, girl. I was like, this is awkward.
Very sexual. It was sexual. It's a little hot in this room. I was like, a little hot. Like I did not, she seems to be very sexual.
Yes.
But yet she's just a virgin.
Yeah. And so she says, I think I'm submissive and I need a man to be kind of dominant and I need a man to sort of handle me. I want to get steamy and stank and all this. And the doctor's like, yeah, girl. And she goes, Yeah, and I'm, like, really interested in dating, but I've never been on a date. And she says, "Here's the thing, I was a late bloomer. I wasn't even interested in men until, like, my mid-20s. I was very overweight. I didn't have
Mhm.
the confidence. I didn't think I would be attractive to men, and I never got
Mhm.
approached." And by the way, I mean, seeing the pictures of her, before and now, I was like, she was perfectly cute. She's obviously funny and fun and very sexual. So,
I
it
didn't
just
even, like, consider her to be, like, overweight, you know
well,
what I mean? I'm like,
it's because
she's
you watched
thickums.
yeah, because you watch Thousand Pound Sisters. Yeah.
In my 600-pound life. So my
Yes.
comparison range is a little bit different. Yeah, I'm like, she's just thick. Like but I get it. Beauty standards are odd for us. So when we
Yeah.
see, oh, that's what we're supposed to look like, and I look like this, and you're like, okay, I can't get a man. Or but it's the fact that she's never been on a date.
I know. It seems like she could even just get on Tinder and find somebody to have sex with. I mean,
Blow her back
because
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
because she's sexual and she wants it. So she says, "I have a lot of love to give, but I don't want to be married again because I was married one time and it was a debacle. There was no sex in the marriage." And the sex therapist is like, "Say what?" She goes,
Yeah.
"Yes.
I was like, what the hell?
I'm a divorced virgin." She explained that the guy she was married to was an international student from Korea living in Minnesota.
Mhm.
They were in touch for 4 to 5 years, but then it came up that he was gonna have to because probably his, education visa, college visa or whatever
Mhm.
was over, he was gonna have to go back, and he was so sweet, and they were so close, and she wanted to help him stay in the country, and she believed she was in love with him and hoped he would love her too.
What in the 90-Day Fiance
Wow,
is going on?
what a missed opportunity for a crossover.
She was on the wrong show. Yeah.
She was on the wrong show. So,
Mhm.
they did live together, but they never slept in the same room. He always slept on the couch. She said, "He was so disgusted by me. He couldn't even look at me. He was only looking for a green card." And sounds like he was mean as well.
And here's my thing. You can't be mean to me and you need the green card. I've
Right.
got all the power in this situation. Do you want the green card or do you not want the green card?
Yeah.
Because something's gonna happen. But I think that comes from her lack of confidence,
Yeah.
especially with men. She just let him do it.
And it was just an online relationship that she thought was gonna be a
Mhm.
real relationship, and
Yep.
she goes, and I just said, like, "Maybe I'm just fat and ugly, and nobody's ever gonna love me." It was
Mhm.
bad, it was a lot. It was a 10-month marriage. She said she realized, like, "What the hell? Why am I helping this guy out when he won't even, like,
Yeah.
talk to me?" Hopefully, she called fraud and sent the guy home, like, I
I
don't
hope
know.
she did. But I have a feeling she didn't.
She said, "I'm terrified of being used. I wanna be with somebody who deserves me, and I wanna
Mhm.
feel safe with somebody so I can release that inner whore in me." And I was like,
We
"Oh
all got
god."
a little inner hoe in us.
I have the most hope for her.
I do. She seems the most eager to have
Yes.
sex.
Yes.
I think that out of all of them, she will be the one who gets it done, even though she's not in a relationship.
Mhm. Yeah, she'll just
Yeah.
call in a professional. Um,
Yeah. Why not?
okay, so now we get this girl, Deanne. Deanne is 35, lives in LA, and works in event marketing. Deanne to me was the most, surprising virgin.
She re-
Because there's no story there, right? Like, the other people have a story, but there's no story here. She just is picky and has 11
exceptionally picky.
and has gotten to age 35 without ever doing it because she's too picky.
Yeah, and I think she's the type of picky that even if she did meet someone, she would get on that man's nerves really bad and really quick.
She works in
That's
event
what I think.
marketing. She likes adventure. She likes to try new things. She likes to go to restaurants, new bars. Her besties are Mercedes and Jamie. And she goes,
Mhm.
"I've figured out my life. I love LA. I love my job. I love my friends. The only thing I can't figure out is the having sex part. I have no sexual experience at all. And 17 years ago, so when she was 18, I guess, 8, 9,
Mhm.
10, 11, 12.
Okay.
She says, "I had a closed experience, but then it just didn't happen. And so I should have just done it in college. I should have just gotten it done. Yeah, I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes, "I do think it's weird. I don't hook up. I don't have sex. I've never had a boyfriend. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like now if I get to that point with somebody, I don't even know what to do, you know?"
Well, they'll show you.
Yeah.
They'll show you what to do. You'll figure it out.
She goes, "I know I'm picky. Like I know I'm picky. I'm looking for Mr. Perfect and I know it doesn't exist, but I'm just
Nope.
picky."
Which, I mean, there's picky and then there's being realistic. Okay.
Yeah.
I always tell, because I've had some very, very, very picky friends and they are still single
Mhm.
because they still go by this list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that list is real cute when you're in high school. Oh, he has to be this skin tone. He has to be this tall. He's got to have this color hair. He has to drive this kind of car. And I'm like, what do you bring to the table? You know what I mean? Why is it that men have to have this, women have to have this long list for men? I'm like, well, what are you bringing to the table? And here's the thing, I always tell people, you can get a gift, the greatest gift. It just may not be packaged the way that you thought it was going to be, but it doesn't make the gift less special and wonderful.
Wow, Keisha,
You,
that's
you, you could write, I mean, that shit is poetic.
you
That
could
is poetic.
put that on some word
Yeah,
art.
I
Yeah.
think so too. Yeah. I've told a lot of people that. I'm like, if someone were to ask, I've never had a type. Never
Mhm.
had a type. I mean, I've never dated the same guy ever because there's
Interesting.
something great about no, I don't have a type.
I I always tell people, if your friend was dating that guy, would you
Hmm.
be like, I like him. He's so nice to her. He's cute. He
Okay.
has a good job." What would you
Hmm.
think if somebody said, "Okay, here's this guy you went out with. His name is Harry," and you
Hmm.
go, I don't know. He kind of bugs me, or I didn't like the way his like tie was done, or I don't know, his
Yep.
shoes were weird." Okay,
Yeah.
what if Harry was dating your good friend? Would you be like, "She's got such a nice boyfriend. Her boyfriend is so nice to her and has a good job." You have to
Right.
look at it that way.
True.
Would I want that guy if somebody else had him?
And then shoes can be changed. You can teach someone how to do the tie the correct way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right,
Like,
right. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, all that's true, all that's true.
I think we could have a dating show too.
No, we have so many show ideas.
We do.
So, a guy approaches, the group of girls named
A
Ben, and
cute guy.
he was cute. He was cute.
Mhm.
Now, I'm sure production put him up to it, but it's fine. His name was Ben, and he asked Deanne for her number, and she goes, "I don't give out my number."
Well, so in this case, I'm a little bit with her. There was
Uh-huh.
no conversation at all.
Yes.
He
That we
literally
saw, that we
said
saw. Yeah,
that
that we
that
saw.
we saw. So if we're going by what we saw, there was no conversation. There was no interest shown. He's just like, why the fuck would I just give you my phone number? Like,
Yeah, how about sit
what?
down and let's talk for 30 minutes, and then maybe you can take me to coffee, and then
Maybe,
maybe I'll give you my number. Yeah.
yeah, or something. I was like, okay, he moved way too fast. So I was with her on that. But did she even make eye contact with that guy? I don't
No,
think she
she's
did.
just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
me mugged him.
So her friends go, guys are always interested in her. She's,
Mhm.
very attractive. She's kind of a catch, but she's never had a boyfriend. She never goes on dates. She's just waiting for some like initial spark, like a fireworks show, like something, out of a movie. And sometimes you just need to go for it. With this guy
Yeah,
that's here, like, why not? What could happen? You could go
yeah,
on 2 dates. It sucks. You never talk to him again, but at least you're getting some practice.
right.
And then a dude comes up named Ryan, and she's
Mhm.
like, 2 out of 10, not for me. Like, wow.
I saw this guy, my ovaries started talking shit. I'm like, oh, he's cute. He's got on a cowboy hat. I
Yeah,
saw him watching me when I was riding that bull. Like,
yeah,
give him a chance. Like,
yeah,
literally just give a guy a chance. Like, you don't even have to go on a date with him. You guys could just text or exchange social media information and kind of start from there. But 2 out of 10, he was not a two.
it seems like she would just get to know guys through her business, doing event marketing, just like get to know somebody organically, or
Yeah,
have somebody set you up so the person's not a serial killer. I mean, there's
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
so she goes, I know I need to make a shift in my life or I'm going to end up alone. And so her story was the shortest one. Because now we go into Sonali, and
Girl. Whoa. This was a lot. This was a lot from
when
start to finish.
when I tell you I paused no less than 400 times and rewound 1/2 a second nonstop to get all the pictures of that vision board. I got every single piece of information that was on it because they kept showing different parts of it, but like just in a second. And I was like, no, I gotta go back. What is that a picture of?
It is
So
like she literally had that vision board in her room.
yeah, she's 37 years old.
And
And
she's 30
so,
years old.
yeah. And she says, hi, I'm Sonali. I'm 37. I live in Hollywood. I can't just do it with any guy. I consider sex to be very sacred. And I also don't want an STD. I don't want a UTI. So I'm really guarded.
Okay, you're not going to a Diddy freak off. Okay, you don't have to worry about the STDs and the UTIs. That's why we have condoms. Like, be so for real right now. Like,
Oh my God.
she was a lot. She was a lot.
So she goes on a date with a guy named John. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he does not know she's a virgin. She was like, he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
know that about me, but he really makes me laugh. I met him wherever she met him, and he
Mm-hmm.
was nice. So they're having
Mm-hmm.
a date, and he seems perfectly fine, age
Yeah.
appropriate, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's explaining to him she was born and raised in America, but her parents are from India, and they've now moved back to India to retire. She grew up in a very strict household. They have very traditional Indian values. The dad said
Mm-hmm.
no sleepovers, no socializing, no dating.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't allowed to go to prom. He didn't want her doing any hanky panky. So she has a
Okay.
huge hang up about it for what her dad has probably said. Nobody will ever want to marry you. You're a whore. The parents came from a arranged marriage situation
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
was like, that's what you're going to do too.
Right.
So she says, I've never seen porn. I've never tried to masturbate. I've never had an orgasm. She goes, I'm a prude. I don't know what to tell you.
Does it
But
even work? Like, how has she gone 37 years if she's never touched herself?
she just has tamped it all down. But Keisha, did you
Jeez.
notice when they were showing the pictures of her with her family, talking about the very strict household and, putting all that strict family stuff on you will warp you completely
Mhm.
as a woman and maybe as a guy, I don't know. But did you notice her younger pictures to now? She has a full nose job. The nose is
Oh God,
completely
yeah.
different. Totally. I
Yes,
was like, who
yes.
face who
Yeah,
dis? Yeah.
yes.
Um, and he says, so John says, it's interesting about your parents. Did your parents ever want you to be part of like an arranged marriage? She goes, yes, of course. She goes,
Mhm.
I was never allowed to date. So then they said, then do they want me to marry a stranger? And I was like, no, yeah, I was never allowed to
Right.
date. And now I have to marry a stranger. But by the way, that in this situation may have been the best option for her. I don't know. So
Maybe.
he says, so how was your dating life? Because all this thing with your parents and everything. She
Right.
goes, I find it challenging, and I'm a virgin. I was like, "Whoa, whoa,
I
don't just hop
don't
in
think she
with it."
needed to say that now. I don't think there was a reason for her to mention that at all.
I think any guy she's dating, she can say, "I really like to take it slow. I haven't dated a
Mhm.
lot," and she doesn't have to say, "I'm a virgin." She could just say, like, they could maybe make out a little bit, and then she could go on the next date. She could go, "Okay, now that I've kind of got you, I could tell you the truth."
Exactly. Yes, I agree
But not
100%.
on the first date as a test.
Not on the first date, no, because he's
No.
thinking all kinds of things right now.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, wait a second."
Number
So,
1, he's thinking, "I'm not gonna get laid."
right.
Then he's probably thinking, "Is there something wrong with her?
Uh-huh.
Is she super picky?" Like,
Uh-huh.
he's thinking like a flood of things right now. I just don't understand why. Okay, she said it because she had to say it because she's filming a show. But if we were
Right.
in like reality, like there's no reason for you to mention that. That's like mentioning how many people you slept with on a first date.
It is. It's like, why are you
Yeah.
telling this strangers like something so
Yeah.
intimate about you? And he goes, "Wow, really? Okay. Do you feel like that's like a stigma on you about sex?" And she goes,
Hmm.
"Well, I don't even like to say sex. I like to say making love. And I consider a kiss even to be sacred. And I can fall in love with one kiss." And he
Okay,
goes,
Cinderella, hold up.
I was like,
That's a
wow,
lot.
not you just made it even weirder.
Because it is weird. She sounds like you give me a kiss, I'm gonna stalk you forever because
Oh,
I'm in
that's
love with
it.
you.
Yes, and I'm in love with
Yeah,
you, and now if you kiss me, then we're together forever. That's how it works.
that's scary.
So in the talking head outside, he's like, "Yes." So she dropped a bomb on me, and
Mhm,
honestly, I've never had sex with a virgin, and I don't think I even want to. I was like,
mhm.
"Okay, this man is using his brain." He's like, "I don't."
He is.
He's like, that was a little scary in there. And I guess that's the
It
show that
was.
we're filming that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Great. Already signed that form, huh? So
Right.
she tells us she had her first kiss when she was 26. And yes, she
Mhm.
fell in love with that guy. She has kissed 6 men total, and she
Mhm.
fell in love each time. And
Okay.
she says,
There's something up here going on.
again, it's her upbringing, and they made it sound like if you kiss somebody, you better marry them. Otherwise, you're the town whore. That's how she's been
Ooh.
brought up, you know? So, her last relationship was the first man where anything beyond a kiss happened. And she goes, we had second or third base. And he was 29 years older than her.
Ew.
So
Okay.
if she's 37 now, this guy would be 67. So if it
Mm.
was 10 years ago, 27 and 57, like, wow. Yeah.
It probably nothing happened because he needed the pop of Viagra.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Bye." So,
Mm.
he ghosted her, and she goes, "And I think
Mm.
she goes, and I feel like the reason he ghosted me was I didn't let him go all the way." She let him go to third base, which obviously not, because later we found out nothing's been in there. I don't know. It's a little
It was
technical for
she
me.
was it was all this was all over the place.
So she says, "This is where all my dates lead. I tell the guy I'm a virgin, and then they ghost me." Then don't tell them that.
I just don't feel when you are like, okay, this may become something. Okay, we're
Yeah.
exclusively seeing one another. Maybe I need to because you can date for a while without sleeping with someone. You know
Yeah,
what I
she could
mean?
find, like, a super religious guy who also doesn't wanna have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Whether let's say she's not a virgin, she's still pretty fucking scary.
Yeah, yeah.
She just she scares me a little bit.
Oh.
There's a lot going on with her.
And then she tells us, I'm not even sure I can have sex. I'm just not
Mhm.
even sure. Now we see her vision board, Keisha, and here we go.
Mm-mm.
This
Okay.
is 2
I
full
want to hear this.
paragraphs. All right.
Okay.
First thing we get is a picture of a man kissing a woman on the forehead. And she
Mhm.
says that represents like how she deserves to be treated, somebody to treat her with
Mhm.
kindness. We see lots of words. Okay. We see demisexual. Okay. Do you know what
Mhm.
demisexual means?
Well, I didn't until she explained it.
Okay. Um, then we see other words, trust, fit, which means in shape, not clothes fit, but like fit physically,
Mhm. Mhm.
nice,
Okay.
safety, humble, giving, charming, deal breakers, anger issues, bad temper,
Okay.
facial hair,
Okay.
halitosis, infidelity,
Uh,
lying, drugs, smoking, snoring,
Mm-mm.
extreme
Mm.
profanity, and 2 left feet.
Wow.
If a guy can't
Eh,
dance and she finds out you snore or you said the F word too many times,
Game over.
game
Game
over.
over. Yeah, you're out of luck, buddy.
Then we see 3 different stars where she's written words in the stars like a real 5th grader.
Mm.
And inside one of the stars says, I fall in love with one kiss. Another
Mhm.
star says, love don't cost a thing.
Okay.
And another star says, Botox over babies.
See,
Uh-huh.
so she ever come off to you a little bit vain?
A lot vain.
Okay,
Botox
thank you. So it
Botox
wasn't just me.
Botox
Yeah.
over babies means I've chosen
Mhm.
not to get married. I'm never gonna have children. I would rather pay for Botox so I can look young or whatever. Yeah.
And to me, she looked older than 37.
She's very dated. Her look is very dated.
I think the makeup was
Ooh,
just not right.
and the
It wasn't
updo.
right for her. And that updo, it just all made her look so much older.
Yeah, it's a
All
lot
she needs to
heavy
go do,
makeup. Yeah.
it was a heavy, and from what I saw, it didn't look like she had bad skin. So I'm not sure
Mm-mm.
why the makeup was so heavy. She needs a full blown makeover.
Yeah,
We could also have a makeover show, Mary Payne.
sure could. Sure could.
Mhm.
We're not done with the vision board, by the way.
Oh,
So
good God.
yeah, we got more to go. So, no mixed messages, no
Okay.
Casanovas, no dating games, no NSA or FWB.
What is that?
Okay, FWB is friends with benefits.
I thought it meant fuck with bitches.
But what does NSA mean? Let's look that
Okay.
up. Okay, what does NSA mean?
NSA.
Uh, no strings attached. Okay,
Oh,
so no strings attached, no friends with benefits, okay?
okay.
She
All
doesn't
right.
wanna hit it and quit it.
Mhm.
Personality traits. Okay, I thought we already did that, but we're gonna
I
keep
thought we did
going.
too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
compassionate, and
Okay.
ambitious,
Okay.
family,
Mhm.
it's not a personality trait, romance,
Mhm.
must be over 5'8" and
Here we go.
health
No, no,
and
mm-mm.
healthy,
Mm-mm.
no gut. Can't have a gut. Must
She's
be
gonna die alone. Oh shit, we're not
oh,
okay. Keep
we're not
going.
oh, we're
Oh,
not done.
okay.
We're not done.
Okay.
Um, must be a sharp dresser. Tattoos are okay, but not too many. Funny,
Okay.
but not too much of a jokester. And why Sonali? Sweet, chatty, finance,
Okay.
talented dancer, and passionate.
Okay. She's
Uh,
not bringing very much to the table from what I see.
she has photos of like a nice car, like a convertible, something like a convertible Corvette style car. So
Okay.
we have a photo of a nice car. We have a photo of a bunch of friends doing like cheers at sunset. We
Mhm.
have a
Mhm.
picture of like a martini. We have a photo of a Cartier watch, specific.
Okay. Okay.
Um, a photo of two people on a beach, and then we have celebrity crushes, and she has a whole list there too.
She's too fucking old for any of this shit.
It is wild. It is
I think she needs
wild.
to see a regular therapist. Forget
I
the
agree.
sex doctor that she's going to see. She needs to see a regular therapist because there is something going. Basically, what she described, no man. There's no man.
It's
Pillsbury
wild.
Doughboy, but he's got too much gut. I don't know. It's just she wants to create a man.
Yeah. And sometimes, and a therapist would probably tell them this, sometimes you put all this list together as a block, like, "Oh, okay, I'm never gonna find this person. That's really what I'm trying to do."
Mhm.
Subconsciously, I'm trying to make it so I never meet anybody, and then that's another psychological something you got going on. But she
Right.
says so earlier when she told the story about, when she was 26 and kissed somebody, she was 26 years young. Today, she
Mhm.
says, I never thought I'd be 37 years young and a virgin. We don't need this years young. That's stupid.
Because she doesn't want to say old.
So I'm 37 years young and I never thought I'd be a
Mhm.
virgin. But a man needs to be very ambitious and not intimidated by me. And I need a man who's very understanding, of my situation. But maybe I have a physical barrier because I've never worn a tampon. I've never been able to get
Mhm.
a pap smear. So maybe there's something blocking the opening to my vagina. So
Well,
I found a
okay.
pelvic floor therapist. Okay.
Okay, I'd never heard of this before in my life.
A pelvic floor therapist.
Yeah.
Oh, I have but you mostly hear about now this is just my thoughts. When you hear about pelvic floor therapists, it's like if your entire pelvic floor has like fallen out when you had a baby and you have to go and get like
Okay.
sewn back up in there and physical therapy for it. Like there's all sorts of
Okay.
things that can happen with your pelvic floor. Most of it has to do with a surgery or a childbirth or a cancer or something. Um,
Okay.
so she goes to see Dr. Heather. Now, this woman is Dr. Heather Jeffcoat. I don't like it when a doctor is like, "Hey, I'm Dr. Sam. Hey, I'm Dr.
Mm,
Bob." Just I'm Dr. Jeffcoat. Why do you have to say Dr.
right.
Heather?
To seem cooler, or sometimes they say to make the patient feel more at ease.
Either just
Or
call
who
me
knows?
Heather or call me
Maybe that was on her vision board, and she showed the vision board to the doctor and said, "I have to have a doctor that goes by their first name."
Right. That's vision board number 2 that I've got in this room.
Yes, that's the medical vision board.
I looked up Dr. Heather Jeffcoat, okay?
Okay.
She is a doctor of physical therapy from the Duke
Okay.
University School of Medicine. So she
Okay.
has her doctorate in physical therapy.
Okay.
She has her bachelor's in science from UC San Diego in animal physiology and neuroscience.
Uh,
She's
okay.
also a certified Pilates instructor and a certified facial stretch therapist. Okay.
She likes to stretch things out.
Yeah, she does.
Literally.
So, Dr. Heather tells us I treat women and men, anybody that has a sexual dysfunction that could be caused by
Mhm.
your pelvic floor. So, Sonali tells her, I've never even tried a tampon. I've never been able to have a pap smear. And she goes,
Mhm.
And so you've never even attempted intercourse. And she says, no. And then she says, really, it's fear. So it sounds like
Mhm.
with the 39 with the guy that was 30 years older than her, she probably almost did it, but she was too afraid.
Mhm. Okay.
She says it's fear really. And Dr. Heather says, I understand. So okay. Dr. Heather said it's not always purely psychological when people have issues. Sometimes it is actually physical.
Right.
So I need to do an exam. So we're going to lay on the
Mhm.
table. We're going to do the exam. So Sonali's like, I'm so fearful of the pain,
Mhm.
And she goes, okay, well, we're not going to do anything painful and let's just do this. So Dr. Heather goes step by step what she's doing. Okay, I am putting my finger on the outside area.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm
Mhm.
going to
Mhm.
go inside.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna
Mhm.
get
Mhm.
one finger. And she's like, ah, oh, ah, And she goes, now I'm, half a tip in. I'm gonna
Yeah.
move from the right to the left, just the tip. And she's like, oh, and she goes, are you fearful of what I'm doing or is it painful? And she goes, it's both.
Right.
It's fearful and it's painful. But also, she's probably so clenched up
Yeah,
that
she's
she,
making it hard to get anything in there. Yeah. And I think the doctor realizes that. That's why she's like, is it really
yeah,
pain
yeah,
or your anxiety, the fear of it?
yeah. And she says, I'm also very worried. I'm going to find out I have some sort of physical ailment that is like preventing this. And the doctor goes out and goes, okay, I think listen, you can just put your clothes on. I've figured out all I need to figure out. So she goes
Mhm.
back out and she comes back in and she has something that's like this size, right? Like a magic
Yeah.
marker and
Yeah.
says, this is a medical dilator.
Mhm.
So basically, my understanding of something, it's probably not even quite this big. I can't get it. I don't have anything in between, but she's
I'm
going
surprised
to.
you don't have one of the actual things in that office of yours. I'm shocked. I really thought you were gonna pull one out.
I'm looking for something that would be a little bit less girthy. Um,
Yeah, because I don't think it was even that thick.
okay, how about this?
That's closer.
This is
Yeah.
closer. This is my
Mhm.
magic wand.
Mhm.
This is about like this. Okay. And she
Yeah.
says, so my understanding of what this is, because I
Mhm.
do know somebody who's had to use one that
Mhm.
had cancer in that
Okay.
area and their vagina hole, like because of the radiation, like shrunk very small.
Okay.
And
Oof.
so you have to put this thing in and then
Mhm.
leave it for X amount of time. And
Okay,
then you
you
have
know
to,
I'm clenched up, right? Because
I
I
know.
hate anything talking about vagina. I just
And then you, you press something on it. I don't know if you have a remote. I don't know what, but it dilates just like millimeters.
okay.
And then you have to do it X amount of time per day until eventually you're at
To a
back to your
normal
regular
size.
size.
Yeah.
The person in
Whew.
my life that had to do this, quit after the 3rd or 4th time and said, "You know what? I don't need to have sex anymore. I've had enough sex in my life. We can do other things." Yeah.
Did she have that conversation with her husband before she made that
Uh-huh,
decision?
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Okay, okay.
The person was like, "I had cancer, I survived, and I don't want this hurts, and I don't want to do it.
Oh, so it hurts.
Hurts bad." And the person that I know had scar tissue built up. And that was
Ooh.
the reason. So, if there's no scar tissue and this is just a mental block, maybe this little
Mhm.
tiny less than a slender tampon situation
Right.
will work. Oh my God, when they showed the doctor like lubing up her, I was like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You get that whole "I'm about to get a pap smear" kind of
yeah.
feeling,
And then
and
you want to
just
talk about
nobody. Mm-mm.
clenching up. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay. I told somebody that recently we're talking about, having to get a mammogram. I go, I would get a mammogram every day of the week
Yeah.
before I would get a pap smear.
And here's the thing: the build up, the anxiety, knowing you're going to get the pap smear. Even though we've been doing this forever,
Yes.
it's still that I still hide my underwear
Me
from my
too.
doctor. And I'm like, literally, this woman is going in the birth canal, but I'm worried about her seeing my panties.
I know. Why do we do that when we go to
I don't
to the
know.
GYN? I fold all my clothes up
Me
neatly and then
too.
put the underwear on the
Put it, yep,
bottom.
yep. I'm like,
Why?
I just don't want her to see. She's about to see things that no, like only a few people have ever seen. But I'm worried about her seeing the color of my panties.
Right. And do you think that doctor has ever walked in and been like, I didn't know you're going to have on
No.
purple granny panties. This
Yeah.
consultation is
I
over.
think she could care. She could care less. Like,
Yes. Yes.
why are
Yes.
we weird like that?
I don't know. That is so funny. I do that too. I fold my clothes up
Yeah,
neatly in a pile, which I would never do at home. But if I go to a different kind of
exactly.
doctor, I just throw that shit everywhere and I don't care.
Yeah,
But it's
it's
something
just the
about the
fact I have to
OBGYN.
hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have got to hide my panties from this woman who wears panties every day and who's about to be in my vagina. I'm not worried about what she sees when she's in there. I just don't
No.
want her to see my panties.
It is so
We're
stupid.
odd.
It is
It
so
is.
stupid. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there were no previews for next week on the screener that I
No.
saw. Maybe there was on when the show aired, but we were watching it with screeners. You guys, I think it's a good show. I think, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if we're going to get another virgin or if these are the 4 that we're working with.
I don't think there's that many. Just from like the little not the preview, but when they were advertising that the show was coming up, I think
Yeah.
they just showed the 4 of them in like the little ad.
Let's see if I can look up.
Honestly, we don't need any more people because these 4 are a
Yeah,
handful.
it's a lot to unpack. Cast of TLC's The Virgins. Yep, they just show those 4.
Yeah,
And
they're
oh
more
my
than
God,
enough.
the picture of I wish I could share the screen and show this to you. So everybody just type in right now on your cast of TLC The Virgins. So
Good boy.
Rhasha, the girl that was married to the Korean guy, her picture is like this. Ah, with her finger in her
Uh-uh.
mouth. Yes. And then the girl that is the event planner in LA, she looks way better in this picture than she does on the show. And then Sonali is doing this, like an X over her, like this,
Oh,
like
I'm looking. Yeah.
and then the guy, Alex, looks like an entirely 100% different person. An
So,
entirely
what
different
is
person.
the younger girl name? Is it Bryn or Bree?
Deanne.
Oh, I was way off. They airbrushed the hell out of her
Yeah.
picture.
She's cute, but she's not that cute.
No, 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 no.
But
That is very
how about Rasha with her finger in her mouth, like, oh, come and get me,
that
big
that
daddy.
well, that kind of tracks for with what we've heard from her from the very first episode. I don't know why the guy looks like a serial killer on here, but he
He
did
looks
get a
way
haircut.
yeah, the hair looks way better,
Yeah,
but he looks
and
nuts.
this poor what is it, Sonali,
Sonali, yeah,
still with the heavy makeup
and still with the updo.
and still
That
with the updo.
that's her look. I bet she every day is like, "Well, I should have just done that arranged marriage, man. At least I could be divorced by now with some
Man,
sexual experience."
something.
Well, guys, I think everybody should watch it, and if you don't watch it, you just wanna listen to the recaps, that's fine too, but at the very
Yep.
least, go look at this cast picture so you know who we're talking about.
Right. They are something
And,
else.
Keisha, that's it. What's going on with the Libra Lounge with Keisha? I know you're traveling. Are you guys, putting out episodes this week while you're in Vegas?
No. No, no, no. When we get home, a new episode. I wouldn't even dare tempt the gods to try to do a show. No, actually, James won't have time. But we just released a new episode Saturday of Questions with Keisha.
Yeah.
People seem to be liking it. We've been getting some really good questions, so I most definitely think you guys should check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. Yeah. Questions with Keisha. I don't know. I do think questions should be like KWS, but I don't know. I was in my mind. I was like, how did because you did it QUES, like just I was like,
KUE.
yes,
We just
instead of
replaced the Q
QUE, you
with a
put the
K.
K. Yeah, yeah. I know. I think it's hard for me grammatically because it bothers me because it's spelled wrong. So I'm trying to like really make it spelled wrong, like KWESTIN. Anyway, you guys,
I wouldn't
questions
even
with
be able to
Keisha.
pronounce it then if it were spelled like that. I'd be like Quisha, Quaisha.
Guys, if you just
What's the name
go
of
and
the
look
show?
up the Libra Lounge with Keisha, you'll see their regular
You'll find it.
episodes and then questions with Keisha. And as
Yes.
always, please follow us on the Instagram. You got the Libra Lounge with Keisha,
Yeah.
you got Pink Shade Pod. Subscribe to the newsletter, and then you'll know what's coming up because Keisha and I are going to be covering Match Me Abroad. We are
Yes.
currently covering The Valley. That comes out on
Yes.
Wednesday. And then this Virgins is replacing Love After Lockup until it comes back. And then I don't know what we're going to do. Then I'm just going to just live in this office, I guess.
Well, then what's the other show that's coming out that we cover?
Love is Blind, UK.
Love is Blind, UK.
They just said they just said summer. I'm like, please, baby Jesus, let it be end of August because I cannot add one more thing.
Yeah.
Because Love is Blind UK is so good.
It was really good. It was really, really good.
Yeah, that's Freddie on there. Oh, he's so hot.
He's so pretty.
Oh, he's so hot.
He's pretty. Yeah.
All right, everybody, follow us, subscribe to the newsletter, and that's where you can find out what's going on. And everybody, just put your travel prayers towards Keisha that her Vegas vacation doesn't get worse.
Please, I want to have fun while I'm here and get home safe and alive.
Yeah, and just pray that no roaches followed me from the beach back home because I can't. No.
Can't do it.
Okay, that's it. Okay, bye.
Bye.